Good evening and welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast. It's a little echoey down here today, I feel like. As you can see, Caleb's lovely backdrop today has gone from the openness to now a plastic sheet. So maybe we're going to... Yeah, and I was like, we're going to have a killing floor in here maybe later. I don't...
I walk into.
I know, right? I don't know. We'll find out. But the first thing we need to find out is whether you murdered a bacon and blue, or sorry, not bacon and blue, beef and blue.
The beefy blue.
The beefy blue from Jimmy John's this week. So yeah, that's a Jimmy John's sandwich with roast beef, blue cheese, horseradish, aioli. So not a full horseradish.
Horseradish.
That makes things much more clear.
Where's that tag
I
coming
was
from?
like, what in blue cheese is making this spicy?
What in the blue cheese? Yeah, so that I also came with onions. I went sans onions. I just can't do onions. So that was
fine, man. Whatever.
Yeah. So what do we think of that guy?
It was decent. I was definitely sniffling though, because it was a little.
That horseradish brings that tang, doesn't it?
Just goes,
yeah.
I didn't realize they had horseradish on it, so I was very confused by where that heat was coming from.
I'm not a horseradish fan, but as I thought about it, I'm like, okay, it's an aioli, so it's going to be mixed with a mayo of some sort here. So maybe I'm going to be okay. And it was okay.
It was okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The blue cheese tamed it down a little bit, just like the blue cheese tames down a hot wing. So
yeah,
I was good with it. Am I going to get this next time I go to Jimmy John's?
It's not the chicken Caesar.
It's not the chicken Caesar wrap,
yeah,
no.
sure.
But I'm still going to, if I go to Jimmy John's, I think I'm still ordering my number 4.
Okay. Yeah, I liked it, but I really like blue cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a nice little combination. I thought the quality of the meat was good.
Yeah.
You know, it's not. We talked about Subway recently, and it was definitely a higher grade than that.
Oh,
in my
yeah.
opinion,
It's always been a higher grade. I mean, because the Jimmy John's owner gets it from straight out of Africa when he goes on his hunting trips there.
Just the kill of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 7.
Yeah, I would say I'd give it a 7 too.
I give it a 6 just because it was a little too much for.
You're
my
not a spicy guy,
palate.
though.
Heavy on the radish.
Yeah.
I think I think I was more pleasantly surprised that I liked it, and that's why I would give it a 7. But Mr. Chew Boom over there, have you found anything for us for next week? Otherwise, I've got a couple of ideas.
Taco Bell introduces new double steak grilled cheese burrito.
Done.
Or I want to throw this out as an option.
Okay, that sounds really good.
Arby's has boneless wings now.
That is an option.
Yeah.
We could probably do both of those things. I mean, not in opposite weeks or whatever. I'll do either of those, Caleb.
I don't care.
I don't care.
My only concern about the Arby's thing is I've driven by the Arby's on the corner of Towanda and Empire on a couple of nights
The one by the high school?
The one by the high school. Yeah, exactly. The one by the high school. And it's been closed at 6:45, like 6:30 at night. Which concerns me about
just overall quality.
Well, just getting access to food there, because if they're short on staff and not even open in the evenings on a weeknight.
Yeah, and the other one closed. So
there's another one on South on Veterans now too, isn't there? Like
by Firehouse.
By Firehouse.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah, it's off of like Morrissey.
Yeah, the one on Main Street closed.
Yeah, that one was the North Main one closed. Yeah. I don't care either way.
Let's
see
the
this.
Taco Bell thing is also a concern because they'll have it for like 3.5 days and then discontinue.
So maybe we do the Taco Bell thing first.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
I
mean, wings are wings. Like I can't imagine.
And they're actually, from what I can tell from that commercial, they're just the new higher quality chicken nugget
with some sauce on it,
doused in the sauce. And we've already had those.
That's true.
And so really, we're just grading
sauce.
How good was the sauce? Yeah. So I
fine
say
with that.
the Taco Bell.
So what was it called?
It's like a double cheeseburger burrito. What did you
say?
Double steak grilled cheese burrito. Features a double portion of the brand's marinated steak plus a double serving of seasoned rice, crunchy red tortilla strips, chipotle sauce, nacho cheese sauce, reduced fat sour cream, 3 cheese blend all rolled up in a soft tortilla with cheese grilled onto the outside of the tortilla. There you go.
This sounds real dumb,
Could
and
be really
but I'm
good.
really glad that they reduced the fat on the sour cream.
Oh, thank goodness.
Makes its nationwide debut November 11th.
It's like, you
So
know, then you
we're
get
good,
the,
right?
That was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
the
And all
diet
those things
soda.
are in on their menu to begin with.
Yeah.
So it's not like, hey,
Mm.
Except for the cheese tortilla, that might be unique.
well, is it?
Unless they're just
Unless
grilling
they're
it
just
on
sprinkling the
there.
Putting it on
cheese.
the
I think they're
cheese.
just
Like,
sprinkling some cheese
Fred,
on top
throw
of
the
the.
cheese on
You know,
there.
they do
You
like a
forgot to
grilled
throw the
stuffed
cheese.
burrito. Like they're probably just throwing a sprinkle of cheese on top and doing it there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The double stuffed grilled cheese. This thing's at least at like 1,300 calories, right?
Probably.
Easily. Okay. So I'm having that as my entire meal for the day. Okay. All right.
Good for you.
Okay. All right. Whatever the hell we're eating that is, but let's talk games.
There aren't any.
There's no video
I
games.
don't,
There-
don't know what we're going to talk about.
Certainly
'cause-
not
This
this time of
season-
year.
Oh,
Where
man, it's just barren out there. Like,
There's not a single game to be had.
especially
yeah.
yeah. For well, I guess I forget Game Pass isn't free, but man, it's just like every day I look at that and it's even the big stuff, but then it's like I've not heard of this thing. What is this thing? Is this thing a game from this year? Like
Right. And then you look it up and it's like, oh, this is a new game from this year and maybe it is interesting. And
yeah, you never know.
yeah, I don't know. I wish I had more time to do it. But I'm just getting caught up. So I started Death's Door. So
Oh,
I know
awesome.
you guys have played that. I'm just so I'm about 2 hours in. I like it okay. I've died a lot early. I think I was struggling with the combat to start with. I thought it was a little more Hades like. It's not like
Yep.
Hades.
It's a different kind of game.
And so I've got
Not
to
like a Zelda.
yeah, so I've got to bring myself back from that, and now that I've kind of done that, I'm better with where I'm at with that. But it's going to be my game that I come back to off and on. I think as like I get a GameFly game, I'll try that out. When I send it back, I'll
I
play
like the
Death's
music.
Door. Oh, the music's
Is it
fantastic.
really good?
The music's really
Okay,
good.
I thought if anything you would like about that game, even if you hated everything else about it,
Oh yeah, that
the
background
music
music is top
something-
notch.
It's just like perfect. You know, like I don't. It's just
It's
so
like
pitch perfect.
Mm.
creepy, but also, I don't know.
Soothing?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for whatever in the world you're doing in that game, like, because I don't exactly. I mean, I guess I'm to a point where yeah, like I'm stuck there or whatever. I just finished up like the witch's house. I don't know
Oh, okay.
if you know where that is. That's still pretty early on, I think.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Okay. You
Yeah,
finished
you're-
the witch's house?
Yeah.
Good. I mean, he's moving.
Yeah, you're moving along.
Yeah.
maybe I played longer than 2 hours. Maybe it's
Yeah,
maybe,
I feel like
maybe
you
3.
probably have.
I kind of lose
That
track of
doesn't
time
matter.
sometimes with those games. So, but so there's one I've played. So I'll punt it over to Caleb now. What new have you played?
So I finished 2 games.
Oh,
I finished Inscription, first of all.
which yeah, I would love to play that, but it's only on PC.
Yep, that's true. But
Even-
it is incredible.
Yeah, I keep hearing that a lot, and I keep finding that like, oh, I have to have a PC to play this.
It's
and-
one of those games, though, where the less you know going in, the better.
right.
So I don't want to talk about it too much, but
Mhm.
at its core, it's a deck building card game. You build a deck of cards and then you play them on a field. It's a specialized game that they just made up for this. But
How long was kind of like the story mode of that? Would you guess?
9-10 hours.
9-10 hours. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
something
so
like that.
average game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But the thing I love is, and I won't get into the specifics, but there's kind of a meta narrative in the game. Where
So Facebook narrative.
So yeah,
Okay.
yes. And that part is extremely creepy and really awesome. I got to a point with the gameplay pretty like far into it where I was kind of like, I'm kind of over this. I know what this is. I just want to get to the end. But I really wanted to see the end of that story. So
Okay.
I pushed through just so I could see that.
So like 7 hours was really fun.
Yeah.
The last 2 were not great, but then the payoff was worth it.
Exactly.
Got
Yeah.
it.
9 to 10, you said?
Yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
Depending on like how either skilled or lucky you are with the
'Cause, yeah, you're
card
gonna get
draws.
draws. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's ultimately how you end up putting it together. Probably if it just like any other card game.
So I got with the first section, I got extremely lucky. You get to, so if you die, you basically get to create your own card to take into the next round. and you create it based on 3 cards from your hand that you died with. And I
Okay.
got extremely lucky with the cards that it let me pick from. So it was a super powerful card, and it cost me 0 resources to put it on the playfield. And if it got killed, it just went right back in my hand.
Oh.
So it was just like it broke that first section of the game just because I had that card. But you might not get that lucky. You might have to do it a couple more rounds, or if you're better at card games than I am, maybe you just go through your first time.
I'm
you know,
not a card
so-
game player, so
So
yeah.
it's hard to tell.
Did you play Hearthstone?
No.
Okay. For some reason, I thought you might have, Logan.
I've played some weird stuff, but I didn't play Hearthstone.
Okay. I was trying to think if
I don't
you've
even know if I've
I
ever
could
really
remember-
played a card game
Right.
before.
I was trying to think if you've ever even played a game like this.
I never went through like a Magic phase or anything.
Klondike, Solitaire, Spider Solitaire. Yeah, that's about where I go.
Minesweeper? No.
That's not a card game.
No.
No, yeah. Yeah.
So I saw this is the first time the game's been explained to me, and I saw a creepy face on an autoplay tile, and it was like inscription review 9 out of 10. And I was like, I bet I'll hear about this later.
Yeah.
But it's like some creepy wooden face is what I saw in the tile.
Yep.
So
It really does a good job of creeping you out.
does it.
It's
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Um,
How bullish are you on that as far as like overall this year?
I think it'll be in my top 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just curious.
Along with another game that I played this week.
Oh wow, look at that!
I know, right?
two
big
top
week.
10s. Yeah, it's a big week over
It's
in
a
the
big
in the
week.
Caleb household.
So I played through the Forgotten City.
Oh yeah.
That game's it's unlike anything I've ever played before. It's
Okay.
so basically
don't know
the
if
story
I know
is
this
that you get trapped in a quote unquote forgotten city. It's like an ancient Roman city.
Okay.
And you are trying to figure out a way to get out of it. And the gameplay is basically you go up to people and talk to them, and there's a lot of conversation trees. So it's not super exciting to describe it, but the way that the story plays out is amazing. It's one of the best like video game stories I've played in a long time. Everything is like interconnected, so you'll be following one chain of quests that's like trying to get you're trying to get inside of this temple so that you can take a bow from this temple, but it's locked. So this guy is helping you out get this bow. But then once you get in the temple, you find this whole underground like tunnel system that lets you get into a whole different area that leads you into another quest you were working on. So everything is like interconnected,
interwoven there. Yeah.
and the stories of all the people like are really, really well done. Their interactions with each other is really cool.
And a Game Pass game
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull it up on here to install. Go ahead and install.
How many hours?
I don't. You have 5 or 6. somewhere in there. It's not that long.
Okay.
I don't know if either of you particularly like as much as me because it's
Okay.
a lot of. There's not much action at all. There's a little bit of like combat to it, but not much at all. It's basically going around and talking to people.
Okay.
So keep that in
I'll
mind.
give it a shot since it's in your top. Like that, if it's going to be in your top 10, like I'm gonna at
I
least
was
give it a
hooked
whirl.
right away on the story though, and there are 4 endings. I just happened to, I guess, get the good ending. Didn't look up a guide or anything. I just stumbled on it. So I still want to see those other 3 endings, but yeah, really, really cool.
As I'm looking at this, my Game Pass thing here, did you know you can play Battlefield for up to 10 hours with Game Pass, the new Battlefield game?
Yeah, it's the well, there is no single player, but yeah.
It's only
yeah,
multiplayer,
it's
right.
multiplayer.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
but-
can do that with most
but
of the
it's-
EA games.
It's free.
I mean, I'm just going to take this out of my GameFly queue now then because I'm sure
Just
as
because you
hell
wanted
gonna,
to try it.
I'm going to try it, but I'm never going to play more than 10 hours of it. That's
10
for
hours,
sure.
Yeah, sure.
That's a lot. So, goodbye Battlefield from my GameFly queue.
Is that? Do you have to? That is strictly Game Pass only. You don't have to wait. Did the EA product merge with Game Pass?
Yep.
Sorry, I just as I was saying that I realized that that's probably why that deal works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
okay.
it is still standalone as well. But if you have Game Pass, you have access to the EA.
To
thing.
the EA, whatever that thing
Right,
was.
but then obviously, yeah, you can only play it for 10 hours and then you lose access to it. But because there's not a ton of stuff in that. I mean, most new releases in that category are not available on Game Pass.
No, the
EA.
EA stuff. That's how they normally do it. Is you get the 10 hours,
Well, I don't think like
like their sports games.
yeah,
are all
their
like
sports
that.
games,
Yep.
yeah, but I don't think like It Takes Two was on there.
No.
Like, yeah, I think some of that stuff, yeah, it was probably not on
Yeah,
there. But
their stuff that's multiplayer geared. They generally
they do that. Okay,
Yeah.
but then their story-driven stuff, they're gonna do something a different way with. But I mean, even at that, I think It Takes Two is now on Game Pass.
Yeah, it is.
But that was, I mean, 6 months later.
I did see that this
Maybe
week,
it was even
yeah.
like 8 months later because that game came out in March, and I think it just
Might have
came.
even been February.
It was
I
early
remember.
in the year. I do remember
Gosh,
that.
man. Doesn't seem like that long ago.
This year's kind of gone by pretty fast.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay. Well, so there's two games that Caleb's real high up on. Jason, you mentioned before you didn't play anything new, right? So
Mm-mm.
we'll
Nope.
so I'll talk about a couple other new things. I did forget to mention that I played Psychonauts 2 a couple weeks ago. That I probably played a couple of hours of that as well.
He didn't mention that? No?
I don't think you did.
Oh, okay.
I think I don't know.
We had an outside conversation on that.
We
but not
might
on
have,
the podcast.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just, it's fine. I just don't know if I'm gonna go back to it. Like, I don't hate it, I don't love it. So that's kind of just basically all I have to say about it.
Yeah,
It's real.
I
That's
get that.
I'm very just middling on it. That's
Yeah. If you don't have the nostalgia for the first game, I can see how it
no,
might be
yeah.
hard to get into.
so. But I can see why someone would like it a lot more. Like,
Yeah.
that's for sure. So, I also played Metroid Dread. Caleb, did you play this at all?
No, I have it sitting there. I haven't started it.
Okay. The Metroid Dread controls and map for me are not clicking. There's a whole process of that. The running around and shooting things in that game, because it's a 3D environment, the right stick does not exactly control very well while running, and it wants you to hold down the LB. So I think like the LB button or L1 button to actually like do
ZL.
ZL or whatever. Yeah, because I refuse to refer to whatever it is they're using, because I think it is ZL is the triggers, right? And then the front buttons
Yeah,
are
they're
actually L and R.
Yeah.
I think that's what
I
it
think
is.
yeah.
So you actually have to hold down that button to really do some proper aiming with it. Otherwise, when you're trying to use the right stick to aim with it and run at the same time or move around at the same time, it's pretty terrible at aiming that way. It is generous enough with the health kickback, so when you kill enemies, it's going to give you health back, so it's not like you're dying all the time from random enemies. But what you do die all the time from are these things called Emmys. And they are indestructible. You cannot kill them. If you come across one of them in their areas, you have to avoid them or you will die. And when you die, you get a nice 20 to 30 second load screen to come back. And that's happened a lot, a very significant amount of time. I have probably played that game for 3.5 hours at this point. My total gameplay time of actual save time is 42. So
You've lost a lot of time.
I've lost a
death.
lot of time to death. But yeah, so I've really only progressed 42 minutes in that game. I'm at a point where I'm looking at the map right now, and I don't know where to go next. I have no idea where to go. I just got a way of opening doors. I figured that out. I was like, okay, I found this new area, which basically looped me back around to another area where I had been before. I cannot figure out where to go. You can play that game in such a weird way that my gameplay is going to be different than yours. So looking at a guide, pretty hard to look at a guide.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's so there are the modern day Metroidvania. Because I tried to play Hollow Knight.
Okay.
It sounds kind of the same way, where they really want you to explore everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they want you to stumble on something and get a new power and then go re-explore everywhere.
which is I feel like what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I can't re-explore a lot of places and try a lot of stuff out when there's this thing hunting me and I immediately die from it.
Right.
So that's really the shitty part. So I spend a lot of my time running away from this thing, and when it catches you, it locks doors down. So you can't escape, and there's only a few like screens, for lack of a better term.
Does it say like stars?
I
Like
wish it did.
Jeez.
It's just because it is essentially that, but
That's
it's
wild.
a lot faster. And if you get anywhere close to it, an animation pops up where you have to, like it'll give you two button prompts to try to parry it. But even the hints in the game say you will not get this. You will not parry an enemy. It says you will lose 99% of the time, and they're right. I've only successfully parried twice out of how many hours have I wasted in this game? Too many.
Yeah, that's been the big thing that's kept me away from it is people saying it's difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really want to struggle through a game like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, I love a lot of those Metroidvania style games. Ori is both Ori games I've loved. I like Celeste. I like Super Meat Boy. But this is not. I'm not going to say it's bad because I don't think it's a bad game. I just think that whatever they're trying to get me to do, my brain and that game are not working right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think there's a class of people out there.
Oh yeah,
That like this is the game for them because they love making incremental progress. They love exploration. They love finding things on their own. That's not the way that you and I play video games.
no, and
So,
no, not at all. And it's just too frustrating. It'd be different too if the load times were better. I think that would help a lot more. And I think whatever's going on with the Emmy thing, if it was just random, because I hate the other thing is why they call them Emmys, because I just want to say Emmy and enemy, and it really like it's because the enemies, they're tolerable. Like I have no problem fighting through those, but these Emmy things, if I could turn that off in this, I would be thrilled to death. That would make this game 100 times better. But the fact that this thing chases me around and locks doors on me, I'm annoyed and I don't want to play it anymore. So,
okay. Maybe I'll give it a shot if I have time, but I might just...
And the thing is come to find out there's only 6 Emmys in this entire map area, and I've only found 2 of them. So that, because I can't get through anywhere else, and I can't figure out where else to go. I'm just, because that's what I'm doing. I'm exploring around trying to find the charge doors that I haven't opened, and I feel like I've opened them all, and I've run into the other thing I'm stuck at now is like I can't go past a certain area because my suit gets too hot, and I immediately start dying in that area. So I need to find whatever upgrade for my suit. I pressed a button somewhere, and it was like redirecting the heat or something. I don't know where it went. It just was like redirected heat. Great. Where do I go to find that? No idea. So I think I'm done.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Speed round. You ready for my speed round?
Let's do it.
There are 3 games that I have started, and I have the exact same thing to say about all 3 games. You
Okay,
ready?
good. Right.
I'll just start with the description of the games. They look amazing.
Okay.
They play really well,
Mm-hmm.
and they are a really good upgrade from their predecessors.
Oh, okay.
So Call of Duty, Forza, and Jurassic World Evolution 2.
Oh, okay. I didn't know the third one. I was like, I forgot that came out. I could.
That's it.
What's
Yeah.
Jurassic World retail at? Is it a full,
It's a full, yeah.
MSRP?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those sim games, you could spend a lot of time
Yep.
on those games.
I always wanted to play the first one. Is the first one on Game Pass?
I don't know.
I don't think so,
No.
but I could be wrong.
Yeah, maybe it's not. Yeah.
City Skylines is on there. I don't
Okay,
know.
no, not the first Jurassic World. Okay.
I feel like it. Maybe was it at one point?
I was curious.
It sure is.
Is it?
The first one is on Game
Nice.
Pass.
Yeah, I feel like I might play that sometime. Just to try it because I've always wanted to play it. tell me about COD. Okay.
Yeah, it
fine.
seems okay.
Better than last year.
Which one was last year?
Last year was the
Black
Redford.
Ops Cold War, fake Robert
Fake
Redford.
Was
Robert
that the
Redford.
one with like the weird psychedelic sequence at the end where you had to run around
Yes.
it? Yeah, that one was bad.
That was
So
pretty
yeah,
bad.
this
None
one
of
so
us
far is
enjoyed last
better than
year's.
that.
Okay. Yeah, just curious.
I feel like it's kind of coming with a whimper.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
really?
The overall, even the
Perception?
multiplayer perception and stuff is pretty lackluster on the whole thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Like that, Warzone still already has like triple the players.
Sure. Well,
Which, I mean, Warzone gonna Warzone, but
Yeah, there's 9 missions and I've done 3 of them. So
and you're probably like an hour. Yeah,
hour and a half, maybe.
maybe.
2.
Yeah. I was gonna say like sometimes those things just go pretty fast. I
Yeah.
mean, a campaign for Call of Duty these days is 5 to 6 hours at best.
Yeah.
right.
So I'll play it, that's for sure. And even if it does stink, I'll at least give it a shot. And I will play 2 rounds of multiplayer and wash my hands of it.
There you go.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like that works. But yeah, Forza, I've been playing Forza as well. It's fun. But it's exactly, I think you said it when you walked in. You were just like, Forza. The great thing about Forza is you can pick it up and you can put it right back down and you don't have to worry about anything. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's very good at just being able to just pick up where you left off and it's not a big deal. Like there's really nothing to it other than just driving around and racing, and sometimes you just
Even like the championship series where you have to do like a couple of different races all around the world. You do one and you're like, I don't want to do this series anymore. Then you go do something else. You can go right
you
back.
can go right back to
You
it.
It's saved all your progress. Like
I had a rough week at work and wanted to come home and not think on anything, and so it was just like,
Yep.
all right, what
Perfect
do I
for
want to
that.
do that's mind numbing? Oh, driving around in random, you just follow the blue line.
Yeah.
Like that was
you can even people have found out in the settings. This might actually be really good with your kids, Jason. Because in the settings you can set it to automatically follow the line
Ooh.
and automatically accelerate and decelerate. So literally they have to hold down the right trigger
And that's
and
it.
it will go.
I might give that a shot.
I bet your kids would have a good time with that. Mine just even have just a good time just drive because there's no penalties for running into stuff and like
Right.
I mean you can just run and crash your car and jump off things and do whatever and it doesn't matter. Like my kids like to go in and look at cars, buy the cars, repaint them. Like that's one of their favorite things to do is just mess
So-
around with Forza.
somebody posted this online. There's a race that it's like an optional race or whatever, but it's like 10 hours long. To do the whole
What?
thing, which like whatever. Like some people are really into that, right?
10 hours.
I think it might even be user created. I don't even know.
I'm
But
sure there's
anyway,
probably
so
user
what you
created
do
races
is you
or
turn on those settings, and then you get a rubber band, and you just put down the trigger, and then you go to bed. And when you come back, you have like a crap ton of credits and wheel spins and all that stuff accumulated. 'Cause you did this
Yes.
race.
The old rubber band in the controller.
Yeah, hey, that works, you know.
So people are unlocking like all of the cars already, and
Which whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean for the most part even the credits and the wheel spins come pretty
yeah.
fast and furious, no pun intended. Oh, which by the way, we found there's a Fast and Furious game coming out again. Did you add it to your gameplay queue?
No,
Oh, I thought you were gonna take the bullet and do it. No.
I don't even know what it is. I haven't heard anything about it, but it
We-
can't be good.
No, it can't. We were just flipping through GameFly new releases the other night at trivia, and it was like, what is this? Another Fast and Furious game coming? Oh my! Like,
Okay.
but yeah, I think that's all I got for
Yep.
games.
Yep.
Yeah, this week. So yeah, there's I think a couple new stuff, a few new things there. There's supposedly a rumor that they're just gonna up and release the Halo Infinite multiplayer tomorrow,
On what date would that be then? November 15th?
15th. Yeah, so like 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Rumored, but there was also there's something about there being the Halo Xboxes are going to be like at Best Buy tomorrow too. So like for people to actually go buy a Series X, that's the Halo edition one. So
I don't know if have they released marketing for that?
No, like I don't think that like not mass marketing. I mean, it's been they did show it off. It's kind of a cool looking Series X. It's got a lot of like gold trim and stuff intertwined in with it, so it looks like the all the Halo stuff. But and the controller looks really nice. But I don't. Other than that, that's all it is. It's just the Halo edition of a Series X. It's like, dude, there's not even enough Series X's out there to fulfill the demand. So
Yeah, right.
why are we making editions of it now? It seems
Right.
kind of interesting.
Right.
It's I've seen some weird, interesting pictures of like hey, here's a Walmart in like Kalamazoo, Michigan, and there's 25 Series S's, like just sitting on a shelf.
But if you want to play like the new, I don't know, like if you're a big Halo person, maybe you got to get a Series S. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small hard drive or whatever, but like if that's all you're ever gonna do with it,
Yeah.
buy that in Game Pass and call it a day. Like I bet it sells around Christmas
'Cause
because that's what's gonna be available.
Infinite's multiplayer is true blue free, right?
Yep.
It's just like the rest of these free multiplayer shooters.
Yep. From what I understand, I think there's a
You
battle
don't even have to
pass.
have Game Pass for that. You know what I mean?
No, you don't have to have Game Pass. Yeah, Battle Pass I think is $10 is what they said, and it's going to last you a full year, is what I heard. Like that they're gonna do. That's pretty solid.
$10,
Right.
like, of course.
Yeah, it's $10. Like when you think about how they do battle passes in COD and Apex and all that stuff, it's like they do one every quarter and it's $25.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just all like, here, upgrade this stuff so you can get some cosmetics.
I'll be so curious how this shakes out. Like, will the younger generation
want it?
grab Halo?
Yeah.
Or will they just kind of stick to their stuff?
Or will the older generation, not understanding the free and everything, rush out and just buy it anyway and then only play multiplayer?
Who knows? Yeah, I don't know if there's
yeah,
because
like
there enough
does
of us.
does the disc version come with the multiplayer? Like, I mean,
I mean,
I don't even
I'm
know.
going to guess that people will just go to the store and buy Halo because Halo is out, and then just
From what I understand,
I could see that happening.
that last demo weekend did big numbers. I don't know how big of numbers, but I did hear some folks saying like, yeah, like we really tested the servers. Like a lot of people were in it. There was a lot of talk on social media about how good it was, and it was. I thought it was great, but we'll see what it turns into. I mean, because I think there'll be a completely different reception for the multiplayer versus the campaign. Always has been. So,
Yeah.
and the fact that they are kind of two separate releases now will be interesting. So,
Okay.
so we'll see if that comes to fruition tomorrow. That would be kind of an interesting, just drop it out of nowhere kind of thing early. Especially since how Battlefield just released on Friday. So, and also I think very little fanfare. I don't think it was getting very good reviews either. So.
Oh, really?
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
You got TV queued up over there, man?
You got your TV queued up? Yeah, me too. So,
finished American Crime Story, impeachment.
yeah.
Don't watch that. It's not good.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I'll
tried.
let it go.
Yeah, I tried the first episode and couldn't do it. So I'm glad you finished it out for us all.
I think there's a possibility of what's her face? The woman that's in every FX show.
Oh, Sarah Paulson.
Yeah, Sarah Paulson. I think there's a possibility she gets an award or two out of this, but
She was
other than
Linda
that-
Tripp, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she usually gets nominated for something every year, but I don't know. Good luck. It seems like TV was a banger this year, so
Did we talk about Dexter yet?
we have not. And
Dexter
I have
came
not.
out
I have not watched it.
Oh, okay.
last Sunday, right?
Last
Yeah.
Sunday, yeah. I had every intention of watching it. Never got around to it.
Yep. I watched it. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's
Sorry.
Yeah, it's.
I have low expectations.
It's fine.
It really is.
There's some questionable acting, I think.
There's questionable
from
acting the
some
first
of
time
the
around.
fringe actors on that show, and then there's also some really really bad CG, like really really bad
Oh
CG.
no.
But it's not terrible, and I want to see. I am intrigued by the story.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm curious at that. I just never got it. I didn't get around to it this week, so so I'll talk about my dumb show I've been watching.
We need to get another timer out.
No, I've been watching Izzy's Koala Rescue on Netflix.
Sounds awesome.
It's my daughter just discovered it and started watching it, and I'm like, what is this? And like, and cause she's like, oh, it's this family, like they rescue koala bears. I'm like, what? Like, and it's like a 12-year-old girl in Australia. Her mom's a vet, but they live out like outside in the wilderness, or not really in the wilderness, but they don't live in like Sydney. They don't live in like a metropolitan area. And that she finds koalas out in the wild and brings them home, and like finds their like oh, this one's got green ants in its eyes, and like
I was waiting for it.
So this is
The Australian accent.
yeah, of course. Which actually wasn't that bad. You know, usually Logan's accents are a little
Just
off,
a regular
but-
Delavadova over there.
yeah.
So this is like a reality show.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's like it's definitely more kid focused.
Okay.
They're like 20 minutes a pop, and yeah, it's real weird. Like
Well, you were just saying you don't have any unscripted stuff.
I needed an unscripted
So,
show,
there you
so I'm living my life through Izzy, she's nursing back to life. Chompy the koala. And
Okay.
but she's like Chompy, like she's always just like, I don't know why I find it hilarious, but Chompy, and the thing that probably drives me the craziest about this show, Australia is a scary ass place for like the like wilderness creatures that can murder you with whatever. This girl never wears shoes, not one bit, and it drives me crazy. Like I don't know how she does it, but she just doesn't wear shoes. So yeah, this is like my number 2 unscripted show of the year because I've only watched 2. So
I could get you some stuff to watch. Okay.
it's okay. I've got Izzy. I've got Izzy
Watch
Saves
Last
Koala.
Year's You.
That's it. That's my number 1. And number
Watch
2.
Clarkson's Farm.
Oh crap! I forgot I watched a little bit of Clarkson's Farm. Okay, so maybe it is 3 then. I didn't watch all of Clarkson's Farm, but yeah. So Izzy's Koala Rescue, solid family show. We're going the family show theme tonight.
Speaking of family shows,
Yes.
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Perfect family show. Curb's still great.
Yep. Yeah,
That's all I gotta
We've
say.
talked enough about Curb. We don't have to. But what else? Succession, obviously, continues to be incredible.
Are we all caught up?
We're all caught up, yeah.
Of course.
That was like the one thing I'm like, okay, I always keep up on Succession. That's for sure. They're just I don't know.
They're
They
calling me Terminal Tom on 3 because I have cancer of the career.
I love Tom and Greg. Like, he's like, I'm just messing with you. Like, just God, it was such an awkward.
The thing I really loved about this episode was how the whole season so far has been about the struggle between, you know, these two people, these two family members, and now at the end of the episode, we have zoomed all the way out to, oh crap, they might be fighting over nothing because they might just lose all of it.
Yeah.
So it's such a good like small story that they have going, like interpersonal relationships, but also this grand overarching story, and they're starting to mingle those two together. It's so good. It's like the writers are just they're doing it. They make it so effortless with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Adrian Brody was really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He
Really
was.
great guest.
Yeah, I think they're at that point now where they'd be like, yeah, we need a guest star for this show, and they can pull great actors.
It's probably actors that are like, I love this show.
Yeah.
I'd
Like,
love to do
So
this.
I listen to a TV podcast, and every week they interview a showrunner from whatever the new show is that's coming out that week. Every single one for the past like 3 months has been saying they always ask at the end, what shows are you watching? And every single one says Succession is a show that actors and directors and showrunners look up to. Everybody has high admiration for this show.
And really with a lot of actors who were not really big at all before this.
I wonder if it was just like where they were working, like
Well, because the guy that plays Kendall was in Britain, I think, for the most part.
Shiv's British too.
She was British too, yeah. A lot of them are British actors. I mean, Kieran Culkin is. I don't know what I don't even know what he was doing prior to this, but
He's found success.
yeah, that's for sure. I mean, the only other person who on that. I mean, obviously, I can't think of his name. Logan Roy's
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox. I just had a brain fart, and
Ba-da-ba-ba.
yeah, I know. I was like, all I was thinking was McRibs. But yeah, I mean, he's had a great career. And then Alan Ruck. Other than that, who is a name that's on that show? And Alan Ruck has been in 2 successful things in his life.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off and
Spin City. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that the guy's been in that's worth it.
I'm sure he's been in something. He's had such a long career. I'm sure if we looked at it, whatever.
Yeah.
I watched Cowboy Murder Simulator. Came back.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's right. It did. Are there
watched-
2 episodes
I
now?
watched Yellowstone. It launched with 2 episodes
Mhm.
last Sunday.
I-
Came in hot.
I've heard.
Oh my god.
People that love the show loved those first 2 episodes.
Jeez Louise.
Mm.
I didn't. It's just so stupid. But
Yeah.
it's like in a good way. Just a huge shootout, like from out of the town in heat, but instead it's like this rural, like backdrop instead of the cityscape.
Mm.
There's just automatic weapons and bodies dropping, and I'm like, this show's about a ranch. What is going on? And assassination attempts, bombings. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Kevin Costner says in the second episode, he's having a conversation with his son. You're a good man, Casey. Good men. Sometimes they got to do bad things. I want to be sure about what you're asking me to do, Dad. Kill them all, son. We're going to kill them all. It's just like...
And then it just cuts.
Yeah. Then next scene, it shows. It's just... It's every bit of Yellowstone as it is. People love it. So I watch those. And
The thing I
that
have
was
seen
it.
the most out of this is middle to like senior, like 50 and 60-year-old women ish or whatever seem to love Cole Hauser. Rip Wheeler is his
Rip.
character's name.
Yep.
Like,
Rip.
I don't know
Mhm.
why, but they're all just like gushing over him. They're just like, "Oh my god, that's a man."
He's got this. Yeah, he's got the jaw. He's got the. Yeah, I could see that. Yep.
That's all I've seen of that show is just like random 50-year-old woman being like, "Oh my god, I love that man."
He's so,
Like, look at that beard.
there's a scene where he's with a woman on the show, one of the main characters. I gotta go, baby. What do you gotta go do? Something bad. And then he throws. This is a spoiler because you gotta know about the show. Then he kills a man with a rattlesnake out of a cooler. He opens the cooler and the rattlesnake launches out of the cooler.
That's
And
corny as shit, and I love it.
bites the guy in the face.
Is there a camera shot from the perspective of like the snake comes right at the camera?
It's like it's like over the shoulder.
No, nice. Yeah.
What are you
okay.
doing? Hey man, this your cooler? This your cooler? Hey, this your cooler? No. What do you do? What the you doing, man? Hey, your cooler? And he just opens it up and a rattlesnake bites the guy in the face.
That's amazing.
I gotta go do something bad, baby.
Gotta go do something bad. No wonder. I mean, he's probably got the smolder too while he's doing it.
It's really I could see it. Yep.
Got it. Okay, good to know. He's gonna sit down and by a campfire at some point with an acoustic guitar, and there's just gonna be those logs are gonna be wet.
That guy is on. He's on the show. There's another guy like that.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah,
But
but
this is a good
guitar.
song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Did you check out the other Taylor Sheridan show? The Mayor of Kingstown.
Is that the Jeremy Renner
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
I did not. What streaming service is
It's on
that
Paramount
on?
Plus.
It's on Paramount Plus. Yeah, no, because I watched because that's a Paramount Plus only, right?
I think so.
Whereas Yellowstone is on Paramount proper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would have. I'll look, but I don't think it's on Paramount proper. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't. I was just curious if.
I could see myself perhaps giving that a run, knowing the kind of stuff that I watch. But no. Any idea how that's reviewing?
I'm just gonna pull that up here. The Mayor of Kingstown. IMDb rating's got a 7.0 right now. Let me pull up a Metacritic on it, but
You know what? It's on Paramount Network.
Oh, there you go.
there
Add
you
it
go.
to your DVR.
And I'm doing it right now. What's his face from Bloodline?
Kyle Chandler,
Yeah, is in that.
also of Friday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, that's what people.
Guess I want to know him
Coach Taylor.
from.
That's it for me.
I also finished up the other two. It took me a while to
The
do
new
it.
season.
The new season. That show was excellent. Like
Agreed.
yeah, that show. I mean, I didn't at first. I didn't even think that we were going to get a second season after, because it's been 2 years. But that show knows how to. What's the best way to describe this? Poke fun at minorities, like without, like they know how to like. So when I say that is like, because you can't joke about stuff like that, but yet they do it in a way that it's like completely normal and it's acceptable. Like, you know what like there's a lot of gay jokes in there, and you can't do a lot of gay jokes anymore, but the way that they do them, it's completely acceptable and like hilarious. If that makes any sense.
I
Like,
think we have different reads on this show.
okay.
I didn't get that.
Well, there's a lot of making fun of gay culture.
Is there?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
is there a lot of making fun of weird people?
There's a lot of making fun of weird people, but there's a lot of poking fun at gay culture in there too.
Okay.
But that's why I'm just like that. It's nice that you can have that, because there's a lot of things that just can't function that way anymore. Like that it's not getting attacked by the PC police because it's of the way that they do the show.
Okay.
All right.
I have not looked through that lens before.
Okay. Yeah. Because they just said, well, guys, I've watched some shows from the 90s recently, and I'm like, you can't say that no more. That's where I guess I'm coming
Yeah.
from, and where it's like, oh, yeah, but yet the show does this perfectly fine and, like, has no issue with any... It's not like they're...
I guess for me, it's more... It's not necessarily, like, at the stereotype or whatever. It's more about, hey, here's this really eccentric character and how strange they are.
Yeah.
I think that's where I find most of the humor in it,
But like, I mean, he was hosting a show called The Gay Minute,
yeah,
and like the stuff that they would talk about on The Gay Minute, like, okay, like that's pretty ridiculous that they would like bring that up, like, but yet they were doing it in a way that I think was, it's funny and acceptable. Like, it's not like,
okay,
that's what I guess I'm getting at, is it's not like it was never inappropriate. And yeah, anyway, but that's what the whole butthole episode.
yeah.
That,
But that's more about the social media than it is
right?
anything
Yeah,
else, so.
but yeah, it's like, it was just like,
Yeah.
it's super weird, but yeah, that show. Say all the characters on there ridiculously great, terrible but ridiculous.
Yeah.
Except Pat. Pat's the only redeeming character
Feel
on
so
that
bad for
show.
Pat.
Where the first season she was not.
Right.
Like, she was kind of terrible in the first
Yeah.
season, and this one it's like everybody's role kind of flipped around, but yeah, that show really, really good. I don't know. Do you see a third season of that happening?
Oh yeah.
I think so
I
too.
think it's been renewed.
Oh, it has.
I think so.
Okay, good. It was. Yeah, I just wasn't sure if that would get a third
Seems
season.
like a
Season.
good HBO Max.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
inexpensive.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see why it would get renewed.
Because I mean, it was originally on Comedy Central, and so that's why I was surprised even that it got picked up by HBO Max, and then they were able to kind of take it a level farther too. Because
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah,
they could. I mean, you're restricted by cable
Right.
on there. I mean, not like a ton of stuff probably, but I mean, it was. But yeah, I think that shows.
Yellowstone is like an hard R-rated thing, and it is on cable. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, if you watch like some FX shows now, they're they don't really care anymore either. They're dropping F-bombs on stuff. Like What We Do in the Shadows this year was the same way. Like they were dropping F-bombs like crazy on that, and that was on FX proper.
Yeah, Mayans has always been that way. I think Sons of Anarchy was almost at the near the point of that transition where like the last few episodes they would, or the last few seasons there were some F-bombs, and then like the Mayans it's just like every other word is the F word. Maybe there is a count. I don't know, but
There used to be.
doesn't matter.
It used to be how many times could you show Dennis Franz's ass on NYPD Blue on ABC, but now it's.
I'll show you my ass.
The other thing I finished up was Doogie Kame Aloha MD, which I think I talked about this once. This was the Disney Plus Doogie Howser weird thing. It has nothing to do with Doogie Howser. The joke is that she's a young doctor, and they're like, yeah, we call her Doogie from that TV show. That's the only.
They did that to get you to watch it.
Right, that's the only reason they did. And it was a throwaway line from the first episode, and then after that it was fine. That is a perfectly acceptable family show in a world where there are no perfectly acceptable family shows on regular television right now. It fills a gap.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a shot as my before bed show.
Yeah, I think there's just a gap with that right now. There's no Full House, there's no Step by Step out there. These are those shows.
Yeah.
So
there's not even any Good Luck Charlie.
No, I mean, Good Luck Charlie came out in like 2010.
I know.
So yeah, so we've been digging to find like family sitcoms and stuff, and so but now we finished that up, and now there's nothing. So
yeah,
but yeah, because we've been Although now we're stuck with this Australian girl who helps koalas. Like it's hard to it's hard to find
That's
good family shows, because the thing is like, I mean, there's family shows, but then they suck. But then there's good shows, and they're not family appropriate. So where's that line in between?
Yeah.
It's harder to find these days.
Speaking of cool down shows, Joe Para Talks With You is back.
Oh yeah,
I saw that.
That's your guy.
The first episode, is it the first one? They released them in batches of 2, so I can't remember if it's the first or the second. But it's just about Joe helping a friend pick out a chair at the furniture store, and it's like the most like wholesome, heartwarming thing.
This is an HBO show?
No, this is on
Cartoon
well,
Network,
it
right?
is because it's on Adult
right.
Swim.
It's Adult Swim,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
So it's so weird that like in Adult Swim you have all these crazy loud swearing disgusting shows.
The super jail of it all.
Yeah. And then you have a guy picking out a chair at a furniture store. But it's kind of like ASMR to me. It's just it's a you know what you're getting into. Like you pull it up and you're gonna smile the whole time. He's gonna be charming, and it's just gonna be nice to watch. So if you're in a bad mood, or you just need something to fall asleep to, maybe give that a shot.
Did I tell you I tried your painting with Joe or whatever it is?
Yeah, and you didn't like that.
I couldn't do it. It was just.
This is even more relaxing than that.
Okay.
Because he even like he gets into like some deeper stuff, or he swears occasionally. Stuff. Joe Para is not like, he is completely 100% straight laced. So.
Yeah, because it's not full Bob Ross. I think that's where I needed.
Yeah.
I needed Bob Ross to really push down his PTSD while he painted. That because you could just tell the guy was just angry underneath. But yeah, I can't. This guy was just telling me straight up what it was.
So speaking of shows that are like super jail, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, there's a new show. This show, here are the stars of this show: Pete Davidson, Woody Harrelson, John Goodman, and Tiffany Haddish. This is an animated show, and it's on Tubi.
What?
Wow, Tubi.
Is Tubi still? Quibi was.
No.
Quibi was.
Yeah, not
Okay.
Tubi,
What is Tubi?
it's a free streaming service. It has
Okay.
ads.
It comes on every smart TV pre-built in.
Oh.
But I was like, looked at this cast and I was like, I think I have to watch this.
What is it?
It's called The Freak Brothers.
Okay.
Don't watch it. It's really bad.
Oh, is
like
it?
really, really bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know why
really?
these highly talented actors agreed to do this show. It's
Maybe Tubi like had a budget to burn.
maybe
Bring in Goodman.
it's like the worst kind of that show where it's like gross out humor and nothing's funny. It's just bad. It might be one of the worst shows I've seen this year.
Wow. Okay.
And I've watched some bad shows this year.
Yeah, I'm just reading the premise of this going, why did these guys sign on to
Right.
do this?
Yeah,
This sounds bad.
So, yeah, the premise is that they're these stoners from 1969, and they get so stoned that they fall asleep for 50 years and wake up in 2020. So it's these stoner guys trying to acclimate to
Stoner
it's
guys
really-
from 1970 waking up in 2020.
Okay.
really bad.
And like the animation style looks really bad.
Yeah,
Just like you were
it's-
saying, like Super Jail style,
Right.
like this.
I don't. You guys know me. I'm sensitive on the visuals. No,
Right.
thank you.
Yep. What was there was one more thing. Oh, The Shrink Next Door.
Yeah,
Ah.
I did watch the first 3 episodes of that. They dropped the first 3.
I-
Did you?
I want to. I just hadn't have time.
I really like that show.
Do you?
It's I don't know what to. I went into it blind. I don't know. It's based on a true story, and I have no idea what that true story is.
I didn't know it was based on a
So
true
I'm
story.
not sure. I'm like along for the ride. Like people know what these characters are gonna do, and
Oh.
like the twists and turns it's gonna take, but I don't know any of that. So I don't know any of their motivations so far. I'm just trying to figure that stuff out, and I really enjoy it for that.
It's Metacriticing low.
Yeah,
It is like 68.
I think it's because
was a
people.
50.
Well,
Oh
okay,
gosh, really?
Yeah.
First of all, it's got a lot of pushback because there are a lot of non-Jewish people playing Jewish people in this show.
Well,
so
that'll
that's
do it.
Yep, that's a big knock on it.
Well, I mean, the girl from the Mexican restaurant's playing a Jewish cousin in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, I mean,
And the other part I think too is that like it's based on a true story. People know it, and they just the show's not interesting because they already know what's going to happen.
oh, well, I don't have that problem.
So,
So-
yeah, I would be curious for another perspective on that show, but I really like it so far. I think Will Ferrell's doing a really good job in a dramatic role.
Did you ever watch that movie that he did with the garage sale on his yard?
Everything must go.
Yeah, everything was go.
No.
I couldn't remember what it was called. I thought that movie was all right. For him playing a dramatic role or whatever, I shouldn't say dramatic role, but it was, not a Will Ferrell movie.
Mm-hmm.
But that's been years now. I mean, that was a while ago. I was trying to see if I can find what the Metacritic score on that was. I thought it was pretty low. 60 right now. Mayor of Kingstown's a 55.
Mm. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now you feel
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, there's some other stuff starting really soon.
Yeah, in a year like this, there's not usually a ton of new stuff starting. I think you got the Hawkeye series that'll be, it's 4 episodes. That's not a series. I wouldn't consider it a series, but because of the way things are classified these days, that starts November 22nd. Oh, Jason, you probably didn't see this because you don't care about the Marvel world. As part, they did this Disney Plus Day thing on Friday, and they announced all of the stuff that's coming to Disney Plus over the next year.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things coming to Disney Plus over the next year is a show called X-Men 97,
Oh, cool.
and it is going to be the next season of the original animated series. They're picking exactly up where they left off in 1997.
Wow.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
that's. I was gonna say. I was like, you would get a huge kick out of
Yes.
that, like that. Yeah. So, yeah, they're just gonna treat it like season 5.
There's a lot of stuff coming soon. The Great starts back up. Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah, I forgot Cowboy Bebop
There's a
will
new show
start.
called Yellow Jackets that's premiering tonight that I'm
Showtime.
curious about. Yeah.
Like after Dexter or something, or before
There's-
Dexter.
There's more Saved by the Bell coming.
Oh, I forgot about that.
How To with John Wilson comes back. It's Always Sunny. Pen 15. Like a lot of stuff coming. Like
Oh,
really
okay.
quick.
So I'm crazy, and there's not. I ever thought. Yeah, I didn't think there was much going on.
Boba Fett starts
Oh,
relatively
yeah.
soon.
a lot of these things will go through 20, like they'll start here,
Yeah.
but then they're going to go into next year,
Yeah.
which will always hard for us to classify those.
Right.
Like we always say like, because does the toady mean that the season finale was in that year?
No, it just means that any episode aired in that year.
Okay.
Or I think it was the majority of the episodes.
I think
aired
you
in
have the
that year.
majority.
I don't remember.
Because I
now.
want to say like we included Curb last year, even
Yeah.
though like
I would listen to a case if somebody had a case to make.
yeah,
for
there was like
something,
3
but-
episodes in 2021.
Yeah.
I think because I think we waited a little bit to do Toadies last year. I think we did like mid-January.
Yeah.
To do that, just so we could all have enough
Mhm.
time to get caught up on stuff that we were like really pushing for. Which I guess while we're sitting here, is there anything that we haven't watched? Because we've kind of done that whole like thing where like is anybody really stumping for something that someone hasn't watched yet? Maravi's Town is on my list. We didn't do game or
We
show
didn't
of
do
the
a quarter, did we?
Yeah.
Forgot about that. I'd have to look. I'm not prepared for that.
Well, my problem
Let's update the spreadsheet and see how.
my
where that
problem is
gets
I've
us.
barreled through the Crown, so I.
So you need something.
Well, no, not that I need something. It's more that like, oh, hey, I watched that show that you told me to watch, but oh wait, none of the shows ever aired this year. Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm literally 1 episode away from finishing season 4. Like that's how far we are.
Show's great.
It's good. It's real good. Some would say great. I would agree with that. It's a pretty great show.
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of any other of shows that like, hey, I've watched this. This is gonna be high on my list. That, I mean, the only show I think I can think of that someone hasn't watched yet that's gonna be high up for me it's probably gonna be WandaVision. And I know Jason,
I watched WandaVision.
I
Yeah,
know
I
you
mean,
did, but you didn't watch it. That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
that
but-
doesn't mean if you guys think it's awesome, like yeah,
Mm.
sure.
And then where's my list? Where's my stupid list at? My IMDb list. We were kind of talking about this last night as we were watching AEW. We were talking about our shows of this
Which
year.
was okay, but
AEW. What?
yeah.
The more I think about it, that show was really good. Actually,
I think
I think
I thought it was just okay.
yeah. I guess when you compare it to everything WWE has done in the last 5 years, it's a lot better
Okay.
than anything they've done. I mean, I
It
think
didn't compare to the last AEW pay per view.
well, I think they went. That one before this was like here,
Yeah.
and this one was here, but every WWE thing is like here. But or at least current state WWE is pretty there.
But yeah,
you know?
we'll have to make sure our spreadsheets are up to date and work off of that. I think is the best plan.
Yeah, I think heels probably. But if that was our third quarter, do you think that would have been our third quarter top show?
I am not prepared for this.
You need to be prepared, Caleb. This is a thing.
Caleb needs to go to the data.
Mhm.
I don't want to say something on the podcast and then
And then
next
you
time
regret
come
it.
back and yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm just looking through here. I think a lot of the other stuff, like
We
well,
got Ted
Ted
Lasso
Lasso was third quarter,
We
but
got
we all
people
watched
that'll
that.
hold me to this. You
Mhm.
know, we can't disappoint the fans.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. The fan.
The fan.
The
fan. The
Fans.
fan.
Like-
Yeah.
like
Thanks,
we-
Mom.
Go plural. Yeah. All right. Well, maybe let's think about that for next time. But we will be back. Well, I don't know. Like I said, we'll be back always whenever we feel like it. That's kind of usually as we go. Like there's stuff coming out, but yet, life gets in the way sometimes. But it's been the Master of Unlocking podcast for this week, and you enjoy finishing whatever it is you're doing. Good night.